The player that I have analysed was Robert Lewandowski. He currently plays for Polish national team as well as Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in the world. I have done an observational analysis on his movement, finishing, pressuring, heading, counter-attacking, playing with the front three, reading, reacting, and prioritizing, and also set plays. In each of these areas I have rated him from 1 to 10, 10 being one of the best players in the world, and 1 being an average Bundesliga 2 player. I have analysed his strengths as well as his weaknesses, but to start with, I will talk about his strengths. Robert's movement is really impressive. I rate his movement as a 9. From what I've seen, Lewandowski's movement around the defensive line creates a lot of space for his teammates. This is really useful as it allows his teammates to get the ball in the final third when the defenders are focused on Robert. Also, he is also capable of creating space for himself. Many times he faked the run in one direction and then he ran back in order to receive the ball. Most of the times it worked, and he had enough space to take a touch, turn with the ball, and pass it to his teammates or take a shot. Also, his movement in penalty box allows him to score a lot of goals. He's always ready to take the shot, facing the ball and making fake runs to deceive the defenders and shoot first time. Also, what I have realized is that Lewandowski and Müller switched position very often. That's when Lewandowski drops back and Müller takes his place. Very often that led to the defenders being confused, and that allowed both of them to have more time on the ball and opportunities to score. Robert is a striker, and this is why he is known for his excellent finishing. In this one I have rated him as an 8. But let me break it down to parts. All of the goals start with his amazing awareness. He's always aware of where his teammates are, where the opponents are, and where he should be, in order to have the biggest chance to score a goal. This is really important, but his awareness doesn't score him goals, it's the ability to finish. Yes, he did score a lot of tap-ins, which happened because of his awareness, but it's his finishing that allowed him to get to be the top scorer in Bundesliga for the past 3 years. He rarely goes for power, and it seems like he focuses more on placing the ball where he wants rather than wanting to smash it past the keeper. He's capable of scoring with both of his feet and head as well. But that is what most strikers do. He's unique because of his decisions and being calm in one-on-one situations. He seems to always know if he should use a low-driven finish, chip the keeper, or place it around the top corners. Lewandowski is a striker, but he also has defensive jobs. One of them is pressing. It's the most basic but also the most important defensive job that players have. In this one I have rated him as an 8. As a striker, Robert did what he had to do really well. He pressed the defenders so they couldn't play from the back comfortably, and he forced them to make quick decisions. What's really impressive about his pressing is the decision making on when to press. For example, very often Lewandowski was far away from the centre-back and he decided not to press him, as he knew that the defender will have enough time to play it forwards or backwards anyway. However, when he was closer to the defenders, he pressed them sharply and quickly, so they had to play quickly and not always successfully, or otherwise they would get tackled by him. His pressing style is also really impressive. He curves his run really well, and as a result of that, it is almost impossible for the opposition to play back to the defender or the goalkeeper. He makes the opposition to play the ball forward and lets his teammates deal with the ball later on. What I have realized is that Lewandowski and Müller like to switch positions when pressing, very often. I have seen Lewandowski marking one of the centre-backs and Müller pressing the ball. Also, very often in the Champions League games, I have seen that Müller likes to place the defenders when the ball is on the right side of the defence and Lewandowski covers the left side. Heading is another of Lewandowski's defending jobs. In games, he does the whole for Bayern Munich, which means that he covers the space near the near post. Whenever there was a short free kick, he would often come back to do his job at the near post and win a header. For this area, I have rated him as an 8. He is really tall, and he got used to heading the ball accurately as he scores headers on the other side of the pitch. However, when defending, Robert gets the ball out of the penalty box pretty well. Most of the times he controls where the ball is going, and he does that well even with a player near him who challenges Lewandowski for the header. He does that really well because he is used to competing for the header as he does when he tries to score. Additional tall players such as Lewandowski helps his team by winning more aerial duels in defending set pieces. These are really important as it's easy to concede a goal from a set piece and Robert helps them with defending them. Lewandowski is really good at counter-attacking. For this one I rated him as an 8. He links up really well with the midfield three as well as the defenders. His quick decision making allows him to counter-attack quickly and effectively. His vision allows him to make a pass that defenders won't expect. That gives his team different opportunities of getting into correct shape or getting in correct positions in order to receive the pass. In a couple games, Lewandowski, Tolisso, Coman and Thiago made a couple decent counter-attacks together, and in one of them they actually managed to grab a goal. Lewandowski's prediction of opposition movements allows him to pick certain passes or avoid losing a ball as he knows what the opposite player will do. The last of Lewandowski's strengths that I have analysed is reading and reacting to the game. In my opinion, it is really important that a player can read and react to certain situations in the game, as it can change the whole match. Lewandowski has that kind of a football brain, which means that he knows exactly when to press, when to hold the ball up, or when to play a 1-2 with another player. Many times I've seen Lewandowski dropping back to win the ball off the midfielder and he didn't succeed, but his teammates managed to win the ball and it went to Robert's feet. He then started a counter-attack or holded the ball up, depending on the situation on the pitch. From my point of view, it seemed like he always knew what he should do, when he should press. His decision-making game and game reading, as well as reacting, is at a really high level, and that's why I have rated him as a 9. So these were Lewandowski's strengths. They make him the player he is right now, but he isn't perfect. And Robert, as many of the other players, have weaknesses and areas that he should definitely improve. His first weakness is playing with 3 forwards. I know, right? It's weird that a successful striker doesn't link up well with front 3 well, but it's true. From my analysis, it seemed like Lewandowski didn't link up well with Robben and Ribéry. Whenever these 3 played together, they weren't classified as a real threat. Many times the passes between these 3 were misplaced. It seemed like it was the first time these guys played together. All 3 of them played really well with the rest of the team, but they don't seem to be working well as a front 3. Many times when Lewandowski was on the ball, he couldn't quite guess what Robben or Ribéry were going to do, and very often he misplaced the pass, or passed in a completely different direction as he thought that Robben was making a run, but instead he was faking it. This is definitely something that Lewandowski has to improve, as it might cost them a lot of points and trophies. Front 3 should be a threat to the opposite team. To improve the teamwork, they should be always going in the same group for training drills such as keep the ball, or training games such as 5v5 or even 11v11 games. That will teach them how each of them play and what their styles are. Also, things such as going out for a meal together might improve their relations and chemistry. By improving that, Lewandowski will be able to get more goals, as both wingers will be able to help him with that. That will then lead to by playing much better and reaching for the Champions League finals and winning domestic cups as well as the league. The second weakness that Lewandowski has is defending set plays. He headers the ball really well, but he loses his man way too often. In 8 goals conceded from set pieces, 3 of them were scored by the man that was marked by Lewandowski. He tends to lose the focus when trying to mark a player, but also win the ball. He's a striker, not a defender, but on this pitch, it's everyone's job to defend and attack. They work as a team. His positioning for set plays is really good, but as soon as the ball is being kicked, he tends to lose his man. As a result of that, he isn't able to stop goal-scoring opportunities. To improve this, Lewandowski should get involved in defensive work in training more often. He might also get in contact with one of the Bayern's defensive coaches and talk about what he should do better and how he should approach opposite players. Also, getting advice from his teammates that play as a centre-backs, wing-backs or even defensive centre-mids will allow him to gain more knowledge about what he should do to avoid losing his man. By doing that, Lewandowski will be able to mark his player better, and as a result of that, he will be more effective for his team, as he will be able to stop opposition with having easy shots and goal-scoring opportunities.